Hello everyone, and welcome to our English learning podcast. Today, we have an important topic: how humans affect nature. Have you ever wondered what happens when people build more cities or cut down forests? Let's explore this together, and don't forget to share your thoughts with us online.
Hi, I'm excited to join this conversation. We'll hear a story about the environment, learn some new words, and think about how we can protect nature. So, let's get started.
The story begins by saying, humans encroach further on nature with every passing year. Now let's explain that word. Encroach means to slowly move into an area where you are not supposed to go. For example, when people build houses in the forest, they encroach on animal homes.
That's right. Encroachment is like when someone keeps putting their things on your desk at school, little by little. It might not seem like a big problem at first, but over time, it can cause trouble for those who were there first. In this case, plants and animals.
Exactly. And between 1996 and 2016, the world lost an area of forest bigger than South Africa. This shows how much humans are moving into nature's space.
The story also mentions that almost 900 species have become extinct in 500 years. It says, 25% of mammals and 12.5% of birds are at high risk of extinction. Now, do you know what mammals are?
Good question. Mammals are animals that feed milk to their babies. Humans, dogs, cows, and monkeys are all mammals. So when we hear that so many mammals are at risk, it means animals like us may disappear.
And remember, this loss is not only bad for animals. The story says it affects flora and fauna too. Let's explain that. Flora means plants, and fauna means animals. So, together, flora and fauna means all the living things in nature.
Moving on, the story tells us, a lack of biodiversity can have consequences for humans. Let's pause and explain consequences. A consequence is the result of something you do, often a bad result. For example, if you don't study, the consequence might be a low test score.
Right. And in our story, one consequence is that bumblebee populations have fallen by 93%. That's a big problem, because humans need bumblebees to help grow fruits and vegetables.
This shows how one action, like changing nature, can have many unexpected consequences for people, too.
The story talks about agriculture, saying modern intensive farming often creates monocultures. This means only one type of crop is grown on a large area. Do you know why that's a problem?
Yes, monocultures reduce biodiversity or the variety of plants and animals. Farmers also use pesticides and herbicides, which are chemicals that kill pests and weeds. But these chemicals can harm other living things too.
Imagine if you only ate one kind of food every day. Your body wouldn't be healthy. Nature needs many types of plants and animals to stay strong.
Another big issue is deforestation. Since 1950, the Amazon rainforest has lost 17% of its area, mostly for cattle grazing. Let's explain carbon. In this context, carbon means carbon dioxide, a gas made when we burn things like coal or oil.
Forests help absorb carbon, which means they take it out of the air. But when we cut down trees, we lose this help, and more carbon stays in the atmosphere. This leads to global warming, which can cause sea levels to rise and puts many cities at risk of flooding.
So, protecting forests is not just about saving trees. It also helps slow down climate change and protect our homes.
The story also mentions factory farming, where animals like cows and chickens are kept close together. This can be unpleasant for animals and risky for people. Epidemiology, the study of diseases, says new viruses can develop in these conditions.
That's right. If humans have close contact with farm animals, diseases like bird flu can spread easily. Let's explain transmission. It means passing something, like a virus, from one living thing to another.
This is why animal welfare and public health are connected. The way we treat animals can affect our own health.
In many places, people hunt wild animals and sell them in wildlife markets. The story says these animals are often endangered, and their rarity makes them valuable. Let's pause to explain rarity. This means something is rare or not common. Rare things are often expensive or special.
For example, if there are only a few pandas left, their rarity makes them famous and protected. But in markets, rare animals are sold for food, which can be dangerous for both animals and people.
And sometimes, people believe eating bushmeat is good for health, even if it's risky or illegal.
Now, there are campaigns to stop selling bushmeat, but this can cause cultural tensions. The story says these tensions can arise between countries. The word arise means to happen or start. For example, problems can arise when people disagree.
Developed countries often have more money or are financially able to protect wildlife. Financially means relating to money. They can create wildlife reserves and support conservation.
But many developed countries rely on developing ones for farming and manufacturing. Manufacturing means making products in large numbers. This can cause more encroachment in less wealthy countries.
Let's think about the story in our own lives. Many of the problems, like deforestation or disease, are connected to things we buy or eat every day. What can we do to help nature?
We can choose products made in eco-friendly ways, eat less meat, or support organizations that protect forests and wildlife. Even small changes, like recycling or using less plastic, help reduce our impact.
It's important to ask questions and learn more, so we can make better choices for our planet and ourselves.
Now, let's review the new words from our story. First, encroach, to slowly move into a place you shouldn't. Example, the new shopping mall will encroach on the local park.
Mammal, an animal that feeds milk to its babies. Example, a dolphin is a mammal, not a fish.
Flora and fauna, all plants and animals. Example, the island's flora and fauna are unique.
Consequence, the result of an action. Example, the consequence of not watering a plant is that it dies.
Carbon, a gas from burning fuel. Example, cars produce carbon that goes into the air.
Untouched, not changed. Example, the mountain was untouched by people.
Link, to connect or show a relationship. Example, scientists link smoking to lung disease.
Rarity, something rare or uncommon. Example, the blue diamond's rarity makes it expensive.
Arise, to happen. Example, problems arise when we don't plan ahead.
Financially, related to money. Example, she is financially independent.
Manufacturing, making things in large amounts. Example, the city has many manufacturing factories.
Now, here's a question for you. In your country or city, do you see any ways that humans are encroaching on nature? What could you or your community do to help protect the environment?
We'd love to hear your ideas. Share them with us in the comments, or talk about them with a friend. Remember, even small actions can make a big difference.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you for listening and practicing your English with us. Keep asking questions and exploring new words every day.
Learning English is a journey. Don't worry if it feels hard sometimes. Try to use new words in your daily life and you'll get better step by step. See you next time.
Remember, every word you learn is a new tool. Stay curious, stay positive, and keep practicing. Goodbye, everyone.